Hey guys, I'm hoping this will be a really short one. Okay, we're just starting off talking about ecosystems, watersheds, and so we're going to get the basics on ecosystems here. We have some words over here: ecosystem, biotic, abiotic, topography, and geology. I'm going to remember biotic and abiotic this way. Bio means to do with life, like biology is the science of life. A means without. So I have a bio without life. Bio means life. Okay. So biotic means they're alive, like biology, and abiotic means without. I remember the A in my life because anemia. So I've had people in my life who have anemia, which means they're missing something in their blood. A lot of times, somebody with anemia is missing iron. So emia means in blood, and A means without. So anemia. Okay. Um, it's showing here a list of biotic factors and abiotic factors. I want us to understand that in sixth grade, we're not going to get too deep into how we define that, but we can kind of use our common sense. Okay? If it's alive, it needs to do a few things, including it needs to eat. Even trees that make their own food still are going to eat that food as well. They have to consume something for energy. And they're going to reproduce, so make more of their own living thing that they are. Okay, those are the two big ones for us. But it gets a lot more complicated when you get older. But for example, I can look at the topography or the up and down of the land somewhere. It's not eating, it's not reproducing, right? It's not a living thing. Um, I can look at the geology, what kind of rocks are there? The soils, what kind of soil is there? These things are not things that are gonna eat, reproduce, do those living thing behaviors, okay? They're just things that are there and part of the situation. Now, they can contain living things. For example, soils have a lot of bacteria, but the soil itself, we're still gonna call it an abiotic factor. By the way, I have a fun fact about soils in ecosystems. Did you know Venus flytraps adapted with the ability to eat bugs because in a marsh, there's not much nitrogen in the soil. So it's best to get nitrogen from proteins. Bugs are pretty high in protein because proteins have a backbone, a chemical backbone of nitrogen, carbon, carbon, nitrogen, carbon, carbon, all the way down. So there's plenty of nitrogen in a protein source. And so Venus flytraps, because there's not much nitrogen in a swampy, marshy soil, they took to eating bugs to get that nitrogen. It's pretty interesting. And so these are types of things that exactly what we're going to talk about is these influence each other. So the fact that there's not nitrogen in the soil in a marsh influences which kind of trees and plants are going to grow there, which influences what kind of animals are going to grow there, et cetera, et cetera. All these things are connected. We can talk about water supply and things like that in terms of uh, us humans messing up a water supply, but also just is this a freshwater environment? Is this a saltwater environment or brackish where the two are mixing? Okay. And the geology, what kind of rocks are there that can help determine what is in the soil, which again is going to help determine what plants are growing there, and so on and so forth. Okay. So again, here it says abiotic factors will determine a lot about an ecosystem. Now, down here, you're going to mark these pictures as B for biotic, bio is life, or A for abiotic, A is without. So, a rock, a rose, a wave in the ocean, sunlight, I'm going to say, ladybug, soil, tree, and a human. So you're going to write A or B on those, and this is going to go in your notebook. So this was just a little introduction this week. We're just kind of getting started on this unit, and you can go ahead and go on to your next activity as soon as you've marked your A's and your B's. All right, bye.